Hey everybody, I have some more Realtor Random Thoughts. I just went to a closing for this really nice client, and it's kind of a funny story because I had a rental listing a while ago for another client of mine that's kind of like an ongoing investor client. And this woman and her husband are living in Virginia, and they wanted to come out to the Naperville area to be closer to their sons and their grandkids, right? So anyway, they came to look at this rental listing that I had, and it was kind of determined that it was probably going to be too small for what they really needed. And so somehow we started talking, and I said, had you ever considered buying here? And she's like, I don't know if we could really do that. And actually, it was her son that was kind of integral in running some numbers for her, and kind of said, Mom, you could probably buy a place and spend less on your mortgage than, your $2,500 or $2,800 a month that you'd be spending on a rental. Because, the reality is when you're looking for a rental, oftentimes they're not, perfect, right? And I could tell she was somebody that wanted something that was super clean and maintained. And like I said, sadly, that's just sometimes not the case with rentals. So anyway, so over the last couple months, she came to town, because the initial meeting was just us doing Zoom calls and FaceTime and looking at rentals, right? So she came into town, and we looked at some potential places to buy, and we found something. And I had put her in touch with one of my lenders, Lori Harges from Preferred Rate, and Lori was amazing and did all the financial stuff and was able to figure out that indeed it did make a lot of sense for this buyer to buy a place, instead of renting. So anyway, it all came together today, and I just think it's funny because, especially I think agents that are in the business for a while, they're like, I don't really want to do rentals or whatever. But the thing is, you never know what like a rental client might turn into. And in this particular case, I just literally went to the closing. I picked her up at her hotel this morning, gave her a ride to the closing, and then the timing was such that I was able to also give her a ride back to her son's house so she could pick up a car to use for the next couple of days, because I hooked her up with a bunch of contractors that are going to, paint and do some plumbing work, etc. And she's like legitimately my friend. And, we're already talking about, okay, when you move in for good in September, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and you're going to come over and we're going to go golfing and blah, blah, blah. So it really turned out to be an amazing thing. It was a really cool story. And we had the most pleasant closing with Lori Harges, who attended the closing. She didn't have to do that. And then Sebastian Koss was our attorney, and he's under our Berkshire umbrella. His wife Sylvia is an agent as well. And, it was just so pleasant and fun. And just everybody walked away with just amazing good feelings, So she's super happy. The buyer's super happy. Her husband will fly out in September with her, and they're going to start their new life in Naperville. So anyway, just wanted to share with my random realtor thoughts.